When I first heard that dandelions had been intentionally brought to the US because they were actually a crop in other places in the world, I couldn't believe it. I grew up in the Seattle area and they were all over the place. They loved the moisture there. But it was quite a weed for us in our yards. But as I became an adult, I realized that there's so many good parts to these flowers. You can eat the leaves, you can eat the petals, you can eat the roots, with all kinds of health benefits. So what I'm doing today is actually making a dandelion jelly. We call it sunshine jelly, and my son loves making it with me. Of course, the first step for this is to go out and to pick the dandelions that are in the yard. I usually delay the lawn mowing for just a couple of days to give those blossoms a chance to come up when I know that we're going to be making this. I look for the blossoms that have opened up really well, and you don't want to actually pick them until just before you're going to use them, because if you wait, then they wilt really, really quickly. So my first step is to bring 8 cups of water to a boil. While that's heating up, I'll start to remove the petals from my flowers. And it's a little harder than you would think. You kind of have to reach into the center and pluck them out and then work towards the edge, because I don't want any of those little green leaves to get in there. I just want the yellow petals. And it does take a little bit to get the 4 cups of petals that I'll need. So I've tried all kinds of different ways of getting these out, and this is really the best that I've found. If you can reach down into that center a bit, it seems like they're a little bit denser, the petals, and so they tend to come out, and then I go back around the outside and pull those off. I usually put the water on medium so that it doesn't come to a boil too quickly, because this usually takes a little while. This is a good thing to do with like an audiobook, or, you know, have the radio on, listen to some music, even in front of the TV watching a movie, because otherwise this could get a little bit tedious. Now that the water has come to a boil, I'll add my 4 cups of dandelion petals, and I'll drop it down to a simmer, and I'll simmer it for 5 minutes. Now I'll strain out the petals, and I'll reserve 5.5 cups of the dandelion tea. I then take the 5.5 cups of dandelion tea and put that in my pan, and I'll add 3 tablespoons of lemon juice and 8 tablespoons of pectin. And then this is optional, but I like to add 1/2 teaspoon of butter because it keeps the foam down. I also have 6 3/4 cups of sugar that are pre-measured, and I'll set that to the side of the stove. And then I'll place this on the stove and bring it to a boil. Now that it's come to a boil, I'll add my sugar, and then I'll bring it back to a boil. I want to get all that sugar stirred in nicely and make sure that there's no clumps of pectin in it. This is kind of a bigger batch. I always feel like if I'm going to do it, I may as well make enough to last the year. Now that it's come to a boil, I'll set my timer for 1 minute. And I like to stir the whole time just to make sure that it doesn't scorch. With the sugar in it now, it's a little bit more apt to, or to overflow. It just seems like it has less foaming if I stir. So now I'll fill my 1/2 pint jars up to 1/4 inch of headspace, which is the space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. Some people will actually put some orange flavoring in with this, which is kind of fun because the dandelion is pretty subtle, more like a honey. But I feel like if you do that, that all you taste is the orange. And if I wanted to make orange jelly, I would have just made orange jelly. The other thing that some people will do is add yellow food coloring to it, because it's a very mild yellow color. But the whole reason that I do my own stuff is so that I can avoid having all of those artificial additives. And so I just don't think it's necessary. I'll then go through with a clean damp cloth and wipe off the rim of the jars, and that's just so if any of the jelly got on the outside edge, that it won't interfere with the seal. I'll then place on my lids and rings until they're fingertip tight. This makes it so that some of the air can escape as it's being heated, which is a good thing because that is part of the mechanism of how it will seal the lid later. It creates that vacuum. Then I'll place these in the boiling water bath and process them for 10 minutes. If I'm at sea level, I'm at 1,200 feet, so I'll go for 15. But I won't start my timer until after it starts to boil. Now that it's finished processing, I'll remove the lid, turn off the heat, and let it cool for 5 minutes. I then place the jars on a heat-resistant surface about 1 to 2 inches apart so that they can cool down quickly. And then I'll let them rest on the counter for about 24 hours to make sure that they get a good seal. After that, I'll remove the rings and wash them with hot soapy water and store them in a cool, dry, dark location, and then use them in the next 1 to 3 years.